Hey everybody. Well, this is Sophion here. I've never actually come out and told you guys my name, but I thought it was time to come out from behind the camera. I mean, I hit a milestone today on my YouTube channel, 1,000 subscribers, in case any of you have been keeping track of that. It actually came up and snuck up from behind me because I noticed a couple days ago I was like at 987, and then I acquired like 15 new subscribers and it hit 1,000 just today. But I thought I would show you guys who I was from behind the camera, and I just wanted to show you all my face. And I think it's amazing because when I started making these videos, they were literally just something I did in college just for fun. They got really popular, and it's turned into I guess, my full-time job now, in addition to my other full-time job. But the thing is, like, when I do these videos at work, I always look forward to doing them, and it's not really a full-time job for me. I mean, it's something that I've always been incredibly passionate for. I mean, even people at work notice I'm very knowledgeable with cars and stuff, whatnot. I mean, I've been researching them and reading them ever since I was a kid, or ever since I was old enough to read, I guess. And on that note, I guess let me just take a moment to express my heartfelt thank you for all of you for getting me to this point. I mean, I definitely couldn't have done it without all of your support. I know this is kind of just like a stepping stone for me because my full-time, or my dream career, I guess, is to become an automotive journalist one day. And you've probably noticed over the past couple of months, the theme on my channel has changed. I mean, the name to the red line was not even created by me. It was created by my boyfriend. He's actually a marketing assistant for the Coons Automotive Group. So he pretty much surprised me with this new branding, and for my 1,000th subscriber, he created an intro that you're about to see. So I guess, once again, thanks for all your continued support, and enjoy the ride, everybody. Hey everyone. Well, I've gotten several requests for this video, and I thought, I guess I wanted to kind of celebrate the fact that my channel has hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you all for being fans and subscribing to my channel. But everyone's been asking me to do this video, and I wanted to try my attempt at trying to teach you guys how to drive a stick shift. Now, if you're new to my channel, obviously I'm sitting in my personal car, my 2012 Honda Fit Sport with a manual transmission. Now, I guess to start things off, I want to ask you guys who actually on here knows how to drive a stick shift, and I'm not talking about just knows how to drive it as in they can move it back and forth, actually can drive it well on the road. So just leave something in the comment box and just tell me if you know how to drive a stick. And I'm not going to make fun of you if you don't. A lot of people don't know, and it's one of the things that I personally want to change because I feel like all the new generation of drivers today don't know how to drive a stick shift, and I think that's completely unacceptable. But anyways, I guess starting off with the basics. Most cars today have, or I guess I want to start off with what my car has. My car has a 5-speed manual. A lot of newer cars today have a 6-speed manual, but my car has the more traditional 5-speed manual. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It still works perfectly, and it's geared right with the engine. The car's off right now, and it's actually going to be, I haven't started it. It's been sitting out all night, and it's almost May, and it's about 40 degrees out here, so it's kind of cold. It was raining all last night and anything, but the one thing that you'll notice first with a manual transmission is, if I can readjust the camera, there's 3 pedals down there, and there's the stick shift, there's the clutch, which is over here, the brake, and then the gas pedal, which sort of, you can see it right there. Automatic cars only have 2 pedals, a brake and a gas, so you do have an extra pedal when you have a stick shift. But one thing you'll notice is if I turn it to start, the car's going to turn on like any other car. But if I just turn it to start, it won't start. What you have to do first things first when you get in a stick shift car, that clutch pedal has to go all the way to the floor, and now it will start, and it's actually a cold start. And then the one thing you want to make sure you do is make sure the transmission is in neutral. If it's not in neutral, and if you leave somebody, for sometimes people will leave it in first or reverse gear, depending on if you're on a hill or whatnot. You need to leave it in neutral. I usually just leave it in neutral because I park on level ground right here. Just make sure it's neutral, because if you let go of that clutch when it's in first gear, the car's going to take off and it's going to stall, or you're going to run into the... In my case, I would run up the curb, or if there's a car in front of you, you'll hit that car. Just make sure it's in neutral. Now, I'm going to attempt at pulling the camera off. Now, sorry about that. In terms of where the gates are, let's see. My car has a 5-speed. You can see where the gates are. I mean, first gear is over here, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and then fifth gear. And then reverse is over here. So you can just look at that by looking at the gates, which I'm hoping you guys could see. But you can see I have 3 pedals there: clutch, brake, and gas pedal. And you can see the engine's cold. My car has about 6,434 miles on it. But put you guys back up over here. Okay, so I guess the basics now. I mean, I'm parked forward into this spot here, so I'm going to want to reverse. Now, with a manual transmission car, I guess you want to put your seatbelt on first, too. I have it in neutral now. Now, I'm going to assume that most people know the basics of driving a stick shift. I mean, you have a clutch pedal that you're going to basically want to push every time before you engage a gear. Now, basically, I mean, first of all, I guess I'll explain the don'ts. You don't ever want to shift gears before you're pushing on the clutch. Basically, how a manual works is the clutch is this big this big disc. The engine has a spinning flywheel, and when the clutch isn't released, that flywheel is kind of well, it's in neutral now. But if I have it in gear and I let go of that clutch, that flywheel, or the clutch disc is gonna touch that flywheel, and it's spinning. So basically, you want to gradually increase the spinning force of the clutch disc to meet the speed of the flywheel, because if you kind of just do it abruptly, that's what causes it to stall. So basically to start out, I guess I'm gonna start out in reverse first. Oh yeah, release the parking brake. In a manual car, you always have the parking brake engaged, because that's essentially your brake. There's no park feature. So basically, if you can see my foot, clutch all the way to the floor. I'm going to put it into reverse here, and reverse is over this way and down, and you can actually hear it when it engages. Now, what then thing about reverse gear is you never, ever want to really let go of the clutch. Because reverse gear, you kind of use it for a short period of time. You don't need to use reverse gear. And, I mean, you don't drive in reverse. You're just kind of backing up. So what you want to do is, every car has a different engagement point. As soon as you start to let go of that clutch, I can feel my car, but you want to be steady. You want to have a steady foot. Don't just let go of the clutch as soon as you feel the car moving. So basically, just slowly let go of it. And I can feel the car move. Every car has a different catch point. My car's catch point I've gotten very used to, but every car has a different catch point. So now, basically, what I did when I was backing up, I'll do it again really quick. Like, the car's moving, it's moving, it's moving. Sometimes you have to add a little bit of gas, but I mean, as soon as I was done, I put the clutch back in. I didn't let go of it, and I put it back into neutral. So now I can let go of the clutch. Now, to get it to start going, clutch all the way to the floor again, and put it into first gear. First gear, remember, is over here. Now slowly let the clutch out. And usually, now when you're first starting out, you're going to be terrible at it. You want to just add a little bit of gas. I usually say get the revs to about 1,500 RPMs. That's why I particularly think it's important to have a tachometer with a manual transmission car. But just bring the revs up. So what you want to do, it's all about coordination. Add a little bit of gas, and then let go of the clutch slowly. And then once you kind of get it going, then you can let go of the clutch, and then the car will... Basically what you've done is you've gotten the speed of the clutch disc to match the flywheel, so that's why it's smooth. Now, when you're first starting out, it's not going to be smooth, so don't be embarrassed when you're constantly jerking your passenger's head, because that's going to happen. And then you want to listen to the engine. I usually shift at about 3,000 RPM. That's when I'm just wanting to drive smoothly or quietly. Usually you can either check the tachometer, or you can listen to the engine. When I was first learning how to drive a stick, I did not want to have music on just so I could hear the engine. It took me a little bit of time before I could start blasting my music. But I guess let me show you guys an example of stalling. I'm going to try to attempt to stall. Actually, I'm going to stall at this hill right here and see, or this stop sign right here. So now, stop sign or hills are going to be your worst enemy when you're first learning how to drive a stick, because the car's going to roll back, and this is why you're also going to hate people who tailgate, because when you roll back, whatever, you don't want to hit them or anything. Now I'm coming to this hill, and also before you come to a stop, I want you to make sure that you push your clutch to the floor and put it back into neutral. But here's an example of stalling. Actually, that was a fail. I didn't stall. It's hard to get me to stall sometimes, or now, because I'm so used to driving this car. I don't know how to stall anymore. But basically what I did is I just let go of the clutch. That's what most people do. But my car is not that easy to stall, and when it does stall, it's really smooth. Like, this car is the perfect car to learn how to drive a stick. That's why when my boyfriend was learning how to drive, he pretty much picked it up pretty easily. So sometimes he still bothers me when he's learning how to drive. But it's just because he has to practice some more. Now remember, every time you come to a stop, push the clutch to the floor and put it into neutral. That's the thing about driving a manual. You kind of have to reteach yourself how to drive. If you're really terrible at multitasking, you're going to struggle a bit learning how to drive a stick. Now, I'm not going to tell you you're not going to be able to, but you're going to struggle a little bit when you're learning how to drive a stick, or if you're really bad at multitasking. So see, I'm coming to this stoplight here. I put it into neutral already, push the clutch in, and I pretty much just coast to a stop. Now, my dad used to tell me that he wanted me to leave it in gear. I personally don't really want to leave it in gear, just because sometimes you might forget. Because if you leave it in gear, the car's going to stall when you come to a stop. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure you put it into neutral before you come to a stop. And that's personally why it's annoying that my Honda Fit doesn't have Bluetooth, because with a manual transmission, I personally think you do need Bluetooth, because, I mean, sometimes I'm on the phone. With an automatic, you don't really need it. See there, I launched it at 1500 RPM, and then listen to the engine. I'm shifting at about 3000 RPM into third gear, fourth gear. Now every car is geared differently. My car at about I'm in fourth gear about 35 miles per hour. That's about right. I don't want to tell you speeds. Whew, excuse me, I almost sneezed over there. I hate it when that happens. Now also, I kind of left it in fourth gear and I took a turn. That was kind of a bad thing because the gear was too high of a gear, so that's why the engine was kind of making that deep noise, and I wasn't really accelerating. That's why you want to downshift. Now back to what I was saying earlier, I don't want to tell you guys that this is a certain speed you want to change gear, because every car is different. Every car is geared differently. If I had a 6-speed manual, the speeds would be different when I change gear. So I always just tell you, listen to the engine. When the engine is at 3000 RPM, I always tell you to shift gears, unless you're trying to accelerate heavily. Then that's a different story, and I'll show you guys a little demonstration. And also, I mean, right now I'm just going to go over the basic moves, but I mean, there are different ways you can drive a stick shift that the more pros, or the people who are pros at it, I guess, drive a stick shift. I mean, right now I'm in fourth gear. If you're going to downshift to third, you want to bring the revs up to match the match third gear's speed, so that way it's a smoother downshift. I'm going to make a U-turn here, and I'm going to show you guys if you're going to do a little bit of hard accelerating. I mean, this is why a manual transmission accelerates faster than an automatic. There's less drivetrain loss through the gear, or through the transmission. Automatics have a torque converter, and that tends to sap power. So that's why manuals accelerate better. I mean, it also gives you more control. I pretty much want to start a campaign that's like save the manuals and whatnot. But I always come to this light, and there's always a shit ton of cars. Excuse my language. There you can see, I mean, I'm at a stoplight here, neutral, foot off the clutch. It's kind of like a regular car. And I guess I could have gone there. I don't think you guys can see what the road looks like, but a little bit cold here. All right. That was a little bit of hard accelerating. I was kind of shifting at 5,000 RPM. But you can see, I mean, this car is so much fun with a stick shift. I mean, try this car with the automatic and it really just slows down. I think it makes the 0 to 60 time 2 seconds slower with the automatic. And I really wanted to show you guys what it's like to do like kind of a hard launch acceleration test. But I'm stuck at this light right here, and there's all these idiots right here in front of me. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a turn somewhere. Let me see. I mean, you can see I kind of make it look easy, and it's not going to be easy the first time you guys are learning, so don't get discouraged if you suck and are constantly, like, stalling. See, now I'm trying to accelerate smooth, or not smoothly, but not hard. Just because it's better for gas mileage, and I don't like to beat on my car all the time, just because I feel really bad when I do it. But I'm going to sit over here at this, pretend like I'm going to take a left. Should let the cars pass. Okay, so once I let the cars pass, I'll show you guys. What you want to do, basically, remember I told you to launch at 1500. Now I'm going to try to launch at 2000. And I didn't really get that much wheel slippage here. I mean, it's not good for the clutch when you do that, but I mean, sometimes if you really want to accelerate fast, you got to do it, and it's fun. So if I do get bored, like, I'll do that on occasion, because you can't do that with an automatic. I'm sorry. There, I've left it in fourth gear. I'm coming to this light. Put it back into neutral. I mean, if you guys think that or automatics are boring, I mean, I would definitely recommend learning how to drive a stick. And I know it can be hard at times because a lot of people don't have manual transmission cars anymore, and it's sad because they're so much more fun, they're so much more fuel efficient, and they're just becoming less and less common. Like Honda, for example. Like, you used to be able to get manual transmission on top trims. I mean, I wanted to get a Fit Sport with navigation just to get the Bluetooth, and it's not available with a stick shift. Like, that automatically annoyed me. I mean, Honda's navigation system is kind of pedestrian at best, but it came with the Bluetooth. That's why Honda, what they should have done is they should have made Bluetooth standard on the Sport model. But I guess they're planning to do that for the next generation Fit. And also, when you're shifting from first to second gear, you guys want to make sure that's kind of the gear that everybody tends to jerk around a lot. I always tell my boyfriend that he needs to kind of get the timing right. You want to slowly let go of it. I mean, every car is different. You want to play with it to where it's smooth. Like, I kind of when I shift from first to second, it's always smooth because I'm so used to this car. But if I drive a new car, a different car like a Mustang, for example, I'll be a little bit jerky going from first to second. But, I mean, once you start shifting gears, once you get into the higher gears, it's pretty easy to shift smoothly. All you do is just gear, clutch in, shift the gear, let go of the clutch, and just let go of the clutch, and then add the gas. So, I mean, basically, it will take a little bit of practice because at first, you're going, the biggest mistake or the biggest thing that newbies always do, they always don't have the coordination of letting go of the clutch and adding gas. And then when you push the clutch in, you let go of the gas at the same time. They don't have that coordination. They'll overlap it. Like, my boyfriend constantly will keep on the accelerator after he pushes the clutch in. You'll hear the engine rev up, and I always tell him, don't do that. But it's all about that coordination will take time. It took me a while to get that coordination right. So that's probably one of the things that I notice the most when you're a newbie learning how to drive a stick shift. But it could be a lot worse, I guess. Hold on here, I'm waiting for these cars to pass, and I'm going to go. First gear, and you can start out in second gear, like you can in my car. It's not good for the car. It's not good for the car, but you can do it. I mean, second gear in this car is really versatile. If you're going 5 miles per hour, I can put it to second gear and start out in second gear. Like, first gear is really only there to start out. Like, if you're going 5 miles per hour, do not put it in first. The revs are going to be too high. I mean, this car makes a pretty nice noise too when you get the revs up. I mean, it's a little Honda 4-banger. It likes to rev. Sometimes it can get a little noisy for my taste, but I mean, eventually I'll upgrade and get something a little bit more powerful, a little bit more refined. But this car is perfect for at the point of my life where I am, I guess. And it gets really good gas mileage, so I'm not complaining. So, see, I'm taking this turn here. I usually put it into third gear. My car's different, though. But leave it in third gear, the car will take the turn fine, and I can accelerate. Most cars, you probably leave it in second, but my car can deal with third. And I guess I'm going to show you guys another quick example of backing up very quickly. Let me you back into this spot right here. See, I'm pushing the clutch in before I come to a stop, and the reverse gear is over here. You can actually hear it engage. Slowly let the clutch out. Leave the clutch in. Like once you start feeling it engage, just leave the clutch at that spot. Push the clutch back in when you're done. And you can actually hear a noise that reverse makes. That's a normal noise. And then put it back to neutral, and then pull the parking brake. Simple as that. Now, I hope I was able to give you guys, I guess, a better demonstration on how to drive a stick. Some of the videos on YouTube I tried watching and I wasn't really impressed with them. But anyways, if you guys are trying to learn how to drive a stick, I hope that helped. I would definitely recommend learning how to drive a stick shift car. It's more fun. The car's cheaper for one. It's more economical, and I just think that we need to save the manuals. Okay, automatics, while they've gotten really good today, especially the dual clutch automatics from Volkswagen, there's nothing that beats 3 pedals and a gear shifter that you can work yourself. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope that helped, and thanks for subscribing to my channel. You guys have been great.